today on Dr. Phil.
Jonah is a total alcoholic. I honestly hate him.
A mother must choose.
You don't get a vote. You're a drunk and a drug addict. You waived your rights.
Her husband?
My therapist was telling me, your marriage is supposed to come first.
Before your children?
Yeah.
Or her kids?
You're taking care of 4 kids plus him.
I need to ask him to leave, but I can't.
You don't have a marriage here, you have a conspiracy. You have a conspiracy to abuse these children. There is no lifeguard on duty at this dysfunctional hellhole of a home. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
Get ready to take care of you. Before the show, I asked to meet with 15-year-old Brindley backstage to let her know that despite her behavior being out of control and extremely dangerous, she was not the cause of all the dysfunction in her family. Her mother, Cassie, was adamant that Brindley was a disrespectful teen terror wreaking havoc on the family, all while Cassie was trying to work a full-time job and raise her 3 other young children. But it was clear as day to me that the far bigger issue in this family was Cassie's alcoholic, drug-addicted husband, Jonah, who forgot his toddler in a 100-degree garage while intoxicated and also fell while holding his 3-year-old daughter, slamming her face into the sidewalk. Will Cassie finally see the light and give Jonah the boot, or will she continue to pick him over her own children? All of that and more on today's show. But first, here's what happened last time. I wanted to talk to you before I ever talked to your mom and to Jonah. They've dragged you in here for me to tell you what a bad kid you are, straighten your ass up, and then send you guys home. That is not how I see this at all.
Brindley has been getting into fights, smoking marijuana, sneaking out at night. It's actually killing me, and you're adding more stress to my life. When I try to punish her, she just runs away.
What do you think about what she's saying?
I think she's very fake. She says that this was all about Jonah. She's crazy.
I want to be very clear. You need to stop that behavior. You're smarter than that. Your mother, she's acting like your friend, not your mother. What does she say to you about bringing Jonah back in the house all the time?
She tells me she likes to sober him, but when is he ever sober anymore? As soon as he sends her a text saying, oh, I'm clean, right back in the house.
She says she doesn't want to be a single parent raising 3 children. Hell, she's raising 4 children.
Anything that goes wrong with him, oh, well, Brindley did this, well, Brindley did that. You're a grown-ass man, take responsibility for what you do.
He's asked you for weed, right?
He'll offer it to me, ask me where he can get some.
That's criminal behavior. This has to stop.
It's really hard. I've been seeing it since I was 6 years old.
Cassie, you're in a situation with a very dysfunctional family. Agreed?
I agree.
I don't think Brindley is the problem. I don't get what the hell you're thinking. Based on what you've told me about Jonah, having him in that home around those children is criminally negligent.
My husband, Jonah, is a complete addict. He's addicted to Xanax, Klonopin. You need to make a decision. If you're going to be high or if you're going to stay sober. Jonah was drunk, picked up our 3-year-old. You tripped and fell with her, and her face hit the concrete.
Okay, so you get that he's seriously impaired.
I do, to a point. Jonah was sitting in the kitchen with one of our twins. When I asked him where the other baby was, he got up frantically looking for her. I went out into the garage and she was sitting in sweaty pajamas in our stroller, and it was 100 degrees that day.
He's not a danger every day. You know, serial killers don't kill somebody every day.
I believe that he can be a good man again and get sober.
Not on your watch, Mom. You have undivided responsibility to your children. He gave illegal drugs to your 15-year-old child.
I was not home that weekend.
You were home when he gave me weed.
I was not home.
Okay, hold on. So you left this person in charge of your children?
Yes, I did.
Oh, Cassie, when you are in a hole, stop digging.
Brindley does blame me for ruining our family and all of her behavioral issues. I think it's just an excuse.
I think that you choose your addiction over your family every day.
I'm afraid to stop because I'm afraid to get sick.
And you're more afraid to get sick than to lose us.
Like I said, my addiction's made me very selfish.
Jonah, I give it to you for being honest because you said you're choosing your alcohol and addiction over your family.
Yeah, I
So he's told you straight up he ain't quitting.
I think that I'm in denial. I don't know why I can't distinguish the difference. I'm just taking care of everything without his help.
No, you're not. She's doing a lot of the mothering.
She is not.
I always have a baby in my arm. I'm always feeding a kid. I even help more than him.
You do.
As of late.
As of lately, yes.
Okay, so let me get your story straight. You said she doesn't do anything except she helps more than Jonah.
Which
But
is
I
it?
never,
You
I
just
hardly
said.
ever ask for
You
help.
just said I don't help. Which is it?
Okay,
Which is it?
You're missing the point. You're twisting my words.
Cassie's mother, Sandy, wrote to me begging for my help to save her 15-year-old granddaughter. Sandy worries that Brindley's constant running away to escape her home might get her kidnapped, raped, killed, put her in harm's way. I was very straight with Brindley that I worry about her being on the street late at night, and I don't want her unsafe in any way whatsoever. Sandy says her granddaughter's behavior will never change unless her parents do.
My granddaughter Brindley went from a sweet, loving little girl to an out-of-control runaway who acts like a criminal.
I'm very worried about you. You don't realize the things that you do aren't good. The sneaking out and the marijuana.
I took health class. I know what it does. And you're a terrible mom.
Brindley is supposed to be on Zoloft for depression, but Cassie allows her not to take it. I don't feel like my granddaughter's behavior is going to get any better until her parents get their act together.
Jonah's behavior and addiction has affected you more than even you're letting on.
I've grown up watching Jonah drink. My mom smokes. Just kind of reflected on me.
My daughter Cassie can rage and be narcissistic.
If my mom didn't scream at me, she didn't pull me by my hair, I probably would get better.
I know Cassie loves Brindley. She just doesn't show it.
She does not believe that you love her.
And I feel that she lays it on thick with you so that you're feeling bad for her.
History is repeating itself. Cassie and I don't get along, and now Brindley and Cassie don't get along.
Well, Sandy, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
You raised her. Did you make mistakes?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You say you two don't get along?
I think we try, but we just don't.
Anytime they fight, I'm hearing something from her in my ear, something from her in my ear.
I try so hard not to do that.
What do you think's going on that your daughter is making the decision to have not one, but two pregnancies with Jonah, and Jonah is making the decision to have not one, but two pregnancies with Cassie, knowing that drugs and alcohol are dominating the situation?
That's why I wrote.
Did y'all think about that? Did you think about it? Did you think about the fact that, okay, I'm married here and I'm in love with a man that is clearly impaired. He's an addict and an alcoholic, and I'm going to get pregnant with him.
I did not plan the last one, just so we're clear. That when he went to rehab.
You know how this works, right?
When he went.
What do you mean you didn't plan it?
We went to, well, because I mean, I wasn't on birth control for years and years, and we either abstain or we're safe, whatever. And then when he went to rehab, we did actually talk about wanting another baby when he was clean. And he stayed clean for 3 months, you know. I mean, we didn't know that he was gonna relapse 3 months later. I'm saying we wanted one, we wanted to have another one. It never happened. We went to the doctors and stuff, and they told us that it probably wasn't gonna happen. And so once in the end of 2019, we started talking and said, okay, let's start figuring out permanent solutions and to not get pregnant, you know. And then so we abstained. Then he relapsed. I didn't want to have a baby. And he had left the home again. I made him leave the home again at that time. And he was gone. And then
Is there a point to this story?
when he was going to rehab, and this one time after abstaining forever, and then it happened. Doctors told us it wasn't going to happen, everything, and it just happened. That's another reason I was believing fate, and I just think I felt like we were supposed to be together, and that I just keep hoping that it's going to change, that he is going to be sober, and that's why all these things keep happening.
I'm trying to get somebody's attention here because there is no lifeguard on duty at this dysfunctional hellhole of a home. There's nobody to save here. You've got to save yourselves. There's nobody here that's going to jump in the water and say, you get saved, you get saved. You're the mother. You don't get a vote. You're a drunk and a drug addict. Yeah. You waived your rights. Yeah. You said, I made a choice. I made a choice. I'm either going to be a drug addict and a drunk, or I'm going to be a father and a husband, and you chose drunk and a drug addict.
Lately, yes.
Pardon me?
I've dropped the ball as being a father and a husband, yeah.
Yep, right. You made your choice, and when you made it, you waived your right to get a vote. So until you check back in, and let me tell you, it ain't 3 months or 3 weeks, and if you continue to fall for that, then you get exactly what you deserve. And you have no right to do that. These are minors. You got 9-month-old babies. You got you got children here that are minors. You got a 15-year-old. You've got another younger daughter here. You've got people that don't get votes. It's your job to protect them. And you're saying, well, you know, I think maybe someday he'll be okay. Well, someday is not on my calendar. I looked. There's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but someday ain't on there. And so they live through all of this, and someday never comes. You have to make a decision. You never taught her that, right? Why not?
Because for some reason, history just keeps repeating itself no matter how hard I try to help.
So what kind of drunk are you? Do you get mean? Do you get arrogant? Do you get belligerent? Do you get lazy? What happens? Do you black out? What kind of drunk are you?
I've blacked out and belligerent.
He's lazy, mean, will tell my mom that she's not a strong woman, doesn't do anything for my family. He's the most disrespectful.
Sounds like you agree.
I know you do stuff for our family. I know you are strong. You're taking care of 4 kids plus him. And I respect you, for that. But you saying I don't help at all? What the hell?
You've got to stop twisting my words with that. I said that you do. When you're home, you do help me. There are times that you do help.
She's not twisting your words.
It is. When I sat down, you said that she said she helps all the time.
She's not twisting your words. You're talking in circles.
She's never home.
What you should say is she's never house, because you don't have a home.
And I always defend her when he's screaming at her, saying those things. I say, I'm sorry, who's the one who has a job? Who's the one who is pulling her together for us, acting like everything's okay when she's actually struggling? Obviously, I don't agree with him.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Your therapist told you that your marriage comes before your children?
Yeah.
He's an idiot. Do you get that? Do you get that she stands beside you in that?
I
No.
do.
She
Does
takes
it?
up
I
for
do.
you. She took up for you with me. She takes up for you with us here in talking to you. She didn't throw you under the bus.
She don't care though.
She threw him under the bus, but not you. The only thing she says about you that's critical is that you won't choose them over him. That's her criticism of you, is that when it comes down to your family or your drunk alcoholic addict husband, you choose him over them. That's her criticism of you. She says you're always working. She says you don't cave. You just keep going. She brags on you until it comes to the choice you make.
And I deserve that, but...
There's no but. When but means forget everything I just said. Now I'm going to tell you what I really think.
Well, I want to say but because he's not even living there right now. I did kick him out. And then I believe him when he says, I've been sober, I haven't been drinking for this long or whatever. And then I'll start to ease back into it. And then all of a sudden he's sleeping on the couch again. And then I get back into this position where, okay, I need to ask him to leave, but I can't because he won't help me financially. I feel like if he leaves, and then all these things start going, like how am I going to get to my appointment next week if he's not here to help me or something? It's stupid things go through my head that I end up letting him stay. But I do think of them. I do as much as I can, and I'm in a tough position. He's pulling me one way and they're pulling me, and I know that they should take priority. But then my therapist a long time ago was telling me, your marriage is supposed to come first. You've got to work on that and work on your marriage.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Your therapist told you that your marriage comes before your children?
Yeah.
He's an idiot. Or she, or whatever, I don't know who it was. Now, this is the same man that was waving a gun around not long ago, right? I noticed a gun charge there on the top of your criminal sheet.
Yeah.
You were waving a gun around.
Yeah. I had blacked out and was threatening suicide.
Not at our home,
Not
at our
the
house.
home. It wasn't around the kids or anything. It wasn't.
It was at his mom's with a 16-year-old there with him.
His nephew was home.
Where did you get the gun?
From my mom's.
Whose gun was it?
Your mom bought it for you.
It was my mom's gun.
Your mom bought it?
Yeah.
For you?
No, for her.
For her?
Yeah.
And kept it at the house
It
where
was
you
at
could
the
get to
house
it?
and I got it, yeah.
Okay. Jonah's mom, not a good idea to have a gun around when you have an alcoholic addict that blacks out. Next, Brindley's grandmother, Sandy, says her granddaughter's bad behavior directly corresponded to Jonah's escalating addiction issues. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think about how all of this ties together right after the break.
The real problem is that Jonah is a total alcoholic who doesn't care to get better for our family.
I keep begging you to leave him because you know you're better than him.
I used to call Jonah dad all the time. He's not anything close to a dad role model. I honestly hate him.
Cassie and I aren't on the best of terms right now because she thinks that I called the Division of Family Services.
Last month, Brindley came home and she was high, pretending to cry to hide it. Her eyes were bright red, and she covers her eyes and she's like, one of my friends was being so mean to me. I went over there, I grabbed her arm, I threw it down, I said, cut.
Brindley video chatted me and she showed me scratches on her arm and told me that her mother had done that. I took a screenshot of the scratch, and that's the only reason Cassie thinks it's me.
To this day, my mom denies calling.
I don't know who called, but it was not me.
I think that she is lying because if the truth were to come out, it will ruin her credibility with every family member.
Brindley says she doesn't run away to party like her parents think, but rather to escape her toxic home because Jonah's there.
My mom and Jonah try to put the blame on me for everything that goes on in our house.
Why are you sneaking out at night or vaping when you know it's causing me even more heartache? Cut the crap.
The real problem is that Jonah is a total alcoholic who doesn't care to get better for our family. I honestly hate him. Me and my mom don't have the best relationship right now because of Jonah, and that just leads to more fights.
I keep begging you to leave him because you know you're better than him.
It's always the same excuse with her that she loves the sober Jonah. When is he ever sober? Never.
I want him to be sober. I want you to trust him again.
It's just a cycle. Jonah acts like he's getting help. We all have the illusion of having a sober dad come home, comes back the same exact piece of he already was before.
I used to call Jonah dad all the time. He's not anything close to a dad role model.
The reasons I would run away would be because of Jonah. Some nights I can't sleep, my anxiety, it hurts my head. That's why I smoke weed.
Jonah treats my mom like on a daily basis. He screams at her, tells her she's not the definition of a strong woman. He disrespects her in front of all of us kids. I can't just sit there and do nothing. I'll remind him that he hasn't done anything for this family.
Part of the reason why I let him come back home is because sometimes I need help.
He's like another kid in our house. You gotta worry about him.
My mom needs to stop making excuses for Jonah. Enough is enough. If Jonah doesn't get help, our family's only gonna get worse.
Okay, now a couple of things I want to clarify, and I'm curious. Did you have bad relationships?
I did.
And did you have multiple marriages?
Yes.
How many?
3 legally.
And so she witnessed this.
Yes.
And now you're in this highly dysfunctional relationship, and so she's witnessing that as well. So you grew up with that. Now she's growing up with that, so this generational legacy is going along, and you're modeling that behavior for her, and you're modeling that you'll settle for promises and abuse, verbal abuse, and all of this. You're modeling that for her, right?
Right.
You get that?
I do.
And you're running away to escape this, and this last time I asked you if you were safe, and you said no, it went badly. And I don't want you to talk about the specifics of that, and I don't want you to talk about the specifics of that, about what you believe or don't believe, because I don't want to compromise anything. But you agree, I asked you when you run away, are you safe? And you said not always. And that's why I said
It's just that one time.
well, it just takes once. And I told you, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with you not being safe when you leave your home. It can go really, really badly. And you said it went badly this last time.
Just this past week, Brindley disappeared for 3 days. She left at 2 in the morning and claims as she was walking home, 4 men in a black car pulled her in the car. Now she can't remember any relevant information about the supposed kidnapping.
I don't believe it. I think some of these antics are a cry for help. Maybe some guys did stop and ask her if she wanted to go party, and she did.
I'm never gonna tell her that I don't believe her because it will just cause too much drama between the two of us.
You know it can go badly on the street. And it's terrible if you leave to escape and you wind up in harm's way, whether it's bad choices or victimization, whatever. You don't want to be in that situation. You don't have a marriage here, you have a conspiracy. You have a conspiracy to abuse these children. I said that whoever told you that your marriage comes first, did they really tell you that?
Yeah. They really said you have to have a good marriage, that your marriage comes first, you come first, your marriage, and then your kids. I always kept saying, I said, well, I believed
That's
that.
what I was told as well.
I always believed that, like, our kids, like, together, like, us have a good marriage for them, but I always questioned why. I don't understand why she kept telling me my marriage would come before Brindley. Brindley was here before Jonah, and is my daughter, and I felt like that she needs to come before my marriage. And then I just got excuses as to why I can't decipher the two, break up the children or whatever. Your marriage needs to be strong.
Let
work
me
on
say
it.
publicly, and anybody that wants to challenge this, I'm more than happy for them to do so, and I will debate them on Times Square, public square, anywhere. As a parent, you have an undivided loyalty to your children, okay? You have an undivided loyalty to your children, and if your spouse is a constructive partner and they're working with you and you're shoulder to shoulder, then you're a team, and that's great, and you pull together and you love each other, and that's at a whole other plane. But if you have a spouse, you have a partner that is behaving in a counterproductive, destructive way, and you have to decide, well, am I going to make sacrifices here at the expense of my children? That is not a hard decision. Your children come first. And if you've got a partner, I wrote a book many, many years ago called Relationship Rescue, and I said, we get divorced too quick in America. We don't work at it. We got to investigate every avenue of rehabilitation, look under every rock, do everything we can. You don't just quit because it isn't fun, but there are two deal breakers. And one of them is if they are on drugs or alcohol and won't get help for it. Because then you're not married to them anymore, you're married to the alcohol or drug version of them. And the other deal breaker is if there is abuse. Those two things are deal breakers. Those two things you don't work through, those things you hit the bricks, you're out. And you've got both. You got verbal abuse and somebody who says, I'm on drugs and alcohol and I don't want to quit because I don't want to go through the sickness part of it. And when I say you have an undivided loyalty, that's not just my opinion. That has to do with family dynamics, and it also, by the way, is the law. And you are guilty of child abuse if you don't protect your children. And this is a definition that pretty much cuts across all 50 states. Failing to protect a child in his or her care from inflicted physical, mental, or sexual injury caused by the acts of another. So, if there's someone, particularly in your own home, that could inflict physical, mental, or sexual injury on your child, and you don't take them out of harm's way, you don't either remove that person or remove those children, you leave them in the same place, that's the definition of negligence. And that is a crime. That's a crime. And don't you think it should be?
Absolutely.
Like, let's say somebody had, some babies and they had somebody that came in and beat them every day. And they just continued to leave the babies there and let that person come in and beat them every day. I mean, that's an extreme example. And that person didn't do anything to protect those babies. That person would be complicit. And you don't have a marriage here, you have a conspiracy. You have a conspiracy to abuse these children. She's being subjected to this. Little sister's being subjected to this, these twins. And you are the only other adult in the family. He gets drunk, and once he's drunk, he's, like you said, he blacks out. You don't know everything you do, right?
Right.
You're not there.
No. I check out mentally. But it's not that I don't want to get help. I do. I just said I was afraid of withdrawals. I know I need help, and I want to be sober.
Yeah, I want you to be sober. I want hair, too, but it doesn't. You got to do something to have it.
Yeah.
You got to get off your butt and do something to have it. So what's to be done here? I'll give you my thoughts after the break. You've been to rehab twice, right?
Yes, correct.
And you said it's not for you, it doesn't work.
No, I never said that.
You said it didn't work. No, that's exactly what you said.
No, it didn't work,
but you said you stayed sober for a little while and then...
I didn't say it's not for me.
And you started drinking again?
Yeah.
After a period of time, right?
Yeah, I relapsed, yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't work?
No.
Yeah. And how long has it been since you were in rehab?
A year almost. or over, well, a little over a year.
Yeah.
Year
And you
2
arranged
months.
that, right? You paid for it?
The first time, yes. This last time, no. The insurance took care of it.
Whose insurance?
Mine.
Do you love her?
Yes, I do.
Then you need to get the hell away from her and get yourself sorted out. Really. And I will help you do that. You show me that you are serious about this. You show me, you go to 30 meetings in 30 days. You show me that you will go to 30 AA meetings in 30 days, and you prove that to me, and I will get you the professional help you need in a dual diagnosis treatment program to help you sort this out, get you into sober living afterwards, get you a productive job, get you back on your feet, get you to be the man that I know you want to be. I'm not going to do it until you show me that you've got some equity involved in it, and then I will step up and you won't believe what I can do for you. But you know, help me, show me something, and I will step up in a big, big way. And in the meantime, I want you to leave these people alone. And you need to let him leave you alone. You need to change the locks. And if you need a babysitter, call your mother.
I will be there, I promise.
This is not an evil man. I'm not telling you it is. I'm telling you when he drinks and drugs, then he is a really poor candidate for a relationship or co-parenting or babysitting or any damn thing. But you get him sober, and I bet you and I'd hang out and get along fine. This isn't a bad guy. I'm not telling you he's a horrible human being. I don't think that of you at all, Jonah. I really don't. But when you're drinking and drugging, I got no use for spending time with you, nor do you. So you've got to straighten up. Come on, you guys are young. You got your whole future ahead of you if you just straighten up. Look, this is not all gloom and doom. And first, let me say, Sandy, you made some mistakes, but you must have done something right, because you raised a daughter here that gets up every day, makes her way in the world. She's productive. She continues to fight. She gets out there. She provides for this family. She's tough as a boot, and she fights this world and makes her way and provides for her family. And God bless you for doing that.
Thank you.
Clearly, that's why I say you've done some right things here, and you've raised a daughter with gumption, and I respect you for that.
Thank you.
And you made some statements. You said, I clearly have made mistakes. You said, I can't really focus on Brindley because I have a lot going on. You said I didn't spend enough time with her growing up. She doesn't respect me because I always forgive Jonah. You said I've called her names, pulled her hair, given her hell, all of that. Not good, not good, not good, not good. You've also done a lot of right things, because this is a stunning young woman here. She's intelligent, she is articulate, she's got a presence about her, she's got a moral compass. I mean, this is a delightful young woman here. So she didn't get that out of a Kellogg's box. You've obviously done some right things. You really have, and you should be very proud of the young woman she is.
I am.
And she makes some bad choices, and I was very straight with her about that she deserves better from herself, and she needs to do a better job. And, be a mother. Recognize what you've got here. This isn't too late. She's 15. I've got T-shirts 15. She's got her whole life. You can turn this around. She needs to, in one semester, she can turn her grades around. She can start getting ready for college or whatever she wants to do. This can all turn around. But there needs to be a hush fall over this home. There needs to be some calm here. You two need to come together and not be fighting. And I will help you do that. You don't even have to leave. I will get you some professional help through Doctor on Demand, which is a company that we actually founded. I mean, doctoral level, serious, focused therapy. It's just as effective as if you went to sit down with somebody. I will get that set up for you immediately. I mean, immediately. I'll set up 10 sessions for you instantly, so you can make a plan. This can turn around if you will leave them alone, do what I'm asking you to do, let me get you the help that you need, and then you guys really come together and support each other. This should be the three musketeers right here that nobody can come between. All right, we're out of.
I may not have anything after because she hasn't looked at me once since I came out.
No, you don't. You have no reason for you guys. You don't have time for that. You need to hit the reset button and move forward. Look at your mother and tell her you'll work with her.
I'll work with you.
See
I'm
how
just
easy
looking
that
at him
was?
because he's talking.
Yeah. Plus, I'm easy to look at.
Right?
Well, maybe not so much. I want to thank all of my guests today. For more information about today's show, then you can log on to drphil.com. If you want to be in our audience, log on to drphil.com and hit be on the audience. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anywhere I can give information. I have a special group on Facebook called Dr. Phil Fanatics, PHAN. It's a private group for superfans. And don't forget my podcast, Fill in the Blanks. I'm continuing my conversation with you on toxic personalities in the real world. In the episode right now, I talk about malignant narcissists. These are the most dangerous narcissists of all. I talk about something called the dark triad. And these are the people that can get really dark on you, can get really evil. Go to Robin's podcast. I've got a secret with Emmy Award-winning TV host, chef, and author, Daphne Oz. Hear more about Daphne's secret to success and how to create a balanced and healthy lifestyle. Check it out on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. We'll see you next time. Stay safe. So long. I'm really pleased to say that since taping, Jonah has done what I asked. He's remained sober for 45 days and counting, attended 45 straight AA meetings, and never returned to Cassie's home. Now, Jonah stuck to his side of the bargain, so I have arranged for him to receive inpatient treatment at Recovery Unplugged in Fort Lauderdale. Recovery Unplugged is a national addiction treatment organization offering all levels of care throughout multiple facilities across the country. They use music as a means to help their clients more readily embrace the treatment process, combining proven, evidence-based treatment practices such as medical detox and withdrawal management and comprehensive behavioral rehab. Great work so far, Jonah, but your road to recovery is just beginning. I can't wait to see how well you'll be doing once you've completed this incredible program.